Hello everyone. In this assignment, we're going to be creating our own Snapchat lenses using the baseball cap template. But before we begin, we have to either download or create the logo that we're going to be adding to our lens. And to find a logo, you might want to try Google. You can type something in like royalty-free logos. And to give you an idea of the kind of logo that is acceptable, it can really be almost anything that doesn't have a copyright. So in other words, no company logos, which includes obviously things that you've seen, superhero logos, your favorite sports teams. Those are the kinds of things that you should not do. But if you go to Google, you'll find lots of them. Just click on images, and you can find a lot of logos that don't have copyrights. Or you can do something like Egyptian hieroglyphs. Again, just type that into Google. And what I would suggest if you wanted to do these is click on one of these pages, and you can then search for one of these in Google. So for instance, if I wanted a lion, I could type in Egyptian hieroglyph lion and get that symbol. Or another thing you could do is cultural symbols such as the peace symbol, or for instance, a yin yang, right? This symbol here. Or you can do a street sign, right? Or a symbol that everybody knows. Or you can even make your own in a photo editing program such as Pixlr, which you guys used last year. As an example, I have downloaded 4 to show you. So I have the Egyptian Ankh symbol. I have an emoji, a maple leaf emoji. I have the power symbol and a yin yang symbol. And I have 4 here, but I'll only need 1 for this project. So I'm going to use this one, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. First, we open Lens Studio, and we're going to click on All Templates, and then Baseball Cap, which will be under B. And the other way you can access that, you can either click this template right from the home page, or you can go to File, New Project from Template, 3D, and Baseball Cap. Either way you can do it, either through menus or through this method right here. So I'm going to load in the template. And when it loads in, you should see yourself wearing a hat that says Yay. And I've reviewed the graphical user interface in class. But to give you a quick review, we're going to be doing things with the object panel in the top left here. We're going to be doing things with the resources panel in the bottom left. And we're going to be doing a lot of our editing using the inspector panel here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our logo that we've downloaded or created on our computer. So I'm going to use the maple leaf emoji that I downloaded, and it looks like this here. But the way that we actually change what's on this baseball cap is we have to click on the baseball cap controller in the objects panel. So we click that, and now we can see that there's a lot of different things here that we can change. The first thing I would note is the logo texture, and the way we're going to put our imported logo onto our hat is we're going to click the logo from our resources panel here, and we're going to drag it without letting go of your mouse or without releasing your finger from the trackpad. And we drag it to where it says logo texture in this box right here, right where it says Yay by default. We let go, and our maple leaf should take the place of Yay on our hat. Now in my case, I'm going to increase the size of that a little bit. You don't have to do that if your logo is already big, but my picture was kind of small, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. The other thing you can do too is you can change where the logo appears, either to the left or to the right. But again, you don't need to do that. I'm going to leave mine in the center. And same thing up or down. You can make it go higher or go lower depending on what you want. But I'd leave that in the middle. And I'm going to make that as big as I can because I need to. It was already kind of small. And now I'm going to change the cap colors to match with the logo. And the way I do that is by clicking on the rectangle that has the color in it beside primary cap color. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to actually get the color really close to what it is. This samples the color that's underneath it. So I'm going to sample the yellow in my maple leaf. And that's going to be my primary color. That's the main color of the cap. And I have to press OK. And now I'm going to change the secondary cap color to the sort of orangey brown color or orangey red color by doing the same thing with the eyedropper tool. I might want to make it something like that. That looks a little bit dark, so I can kind of brighten it up a little bit by clicking on the color wheel and maybe making that a little bit brighter, something like that. Maybe a little bit more orangey. Okay, so I've changed the colors. Now they match my logo. You can set that if you want your hat to have a flat or a very curved brim. I'm going to keep mine in the middle. You can also change it so that it turns on your head with the swivel. So it either turns to the left or to the right. Or you can tilt it up and down, depending on the way you want it. Again, I'm going to leave mine in the middle. These are optional, the ones that I've just shown you. I do want to change my face paint though as well so that it looks like it's the same color as my logo. So what I'm going to do is click the primary face paint color and change that in the same way that I did my primary cap color. So I'm just going to click on the yellow and I have to press OK. Then I'm going to go to the secondary face paint color, click that, use my eyedropper tool, put that right over the secondary cap color. So now my face paint colors are exactly the same as my cap colors. And press OK. And you can choose a different face paint pattern as well if you'd like. This is, again, is optional. But you do need to change the colors, right? I'm going to leave it at this one, the default pattern, the eye lines pattern. But again, you need to add the logo that you imported. You need to change the primary cap color. You need to change the secondary cap color to match your logo, and also your primary and your secondary face paint colors also to match your logo. They don't have to be the same. I can make this a little bit darker if I wanted. That doesn't matter, but it should match. I do want it to match the logo. So something like that. And after you've done that, you can send the lens to your phone to test it if you'd like. You will have to link it with your phone first. You have to open up Snapchat on your phone or your mobile device, and you're going to have to scan the code in order to link it with your device. And after you do that, you should be able to see the lens on your phone as well. Right? If it looks good, if you like the way it looks, then you can proceed to the next part, which is to get it ready for publication. And the way we do that is we click the Project Info button at the top left up here. And we're going to rename this so it says something a little bit more descriptive. In my case, I have a maple leaf, so I'm going to say Maple Leaf Cap. So I've changed the name to something a bit more appropriate. Then I'm going to add a preview and an icon by clicking on the plus buttons. So first with the preview, and you can pick your favorite model, and it takes a couple of seconds to load in usually. And the one that you pick should show off your baseball cap. In other words, you wouldn't pick an object tracking one or one of the other ones that doesn't have anything to do with your hat. So as long as your hat can be seen, then that's an acceptable preview. So we click, if we're happy with that, we click apply. Then we're going to change the logo by clicking on this pencil icon here. And we're going to select the file that we added in. So in this case, the maple leaf. And if it's a little bit too big or too small, we can move the circle around so that it fits the way we want, but that's okay. I think I like the way that is. We click apply, and we make sure that both the front and rear camera are selected so that it'll work with both the front and the rear camera of our mobile device. And then we click apply again, and we should now have a preview and a logo for our lens. And now we get to publish it. And the way we do that is by clicking on the Publish Lens button up here in the top left. And you may have to log in if you haven't already. And the way to do that is to follow the instructions. You may actually have to type in your username and password. Now once that's done, you can press continue and go back to publishing your lens. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that everything is correct the way we want it. So it says maple leaf cap, which is what we want. It has the logo that we want. Now we can add tags, and what these tags do is they help other users find your lens if they're searching inside of Snapchat. So for instance, I might put in here maple leaf, right? Maple, that's the plus button. Leaf, it's the plus button. Baseball, cap, and anything else I can think of that might relate to this. Maybe Canada. Press the plus button. I think you have up to 8. In this case, 5 is enough, I think, for me. And scan triggers, what these do is if you have the app open on your phone and you press the scan icon, it will do a visual assessment of your surroundings and try to identify different objects. And if one of the objects matches what you put in as a scan trigger, then it will suggest or may suggest your lens. So for instance, I might put in hat, right? I may put in maple. And baseball really doesn't have anything that relates to hats here. I could put these in, but I'm not going to. So I only have 2, which is fine. So we press done. And once we're happy with our tags and our scan triggers, then we press submit. And I should mention too that if you don't want to promote your lens, then you don't need to put in scan triggers or tags. And if you click on your lens, you'll notice that it takes a second, but it does become live. And your stats will appear here if you have any other lenses. And I'll show you what these 3 dots do here. You may need to know this. You can download the snap code if you ever wanted to take a picture of the snap code and put this right on your phone. You can, if you've made a mistake, you can manage your tags and scan triggers here. You can also change your preview if you want to. If you really don't want other people to see it, you can say do not promote. But of course, if someone does have the link, they can still see it. It is still, anytime you publish a lens, it is still up in the cloud in Snapchat's servers. So somebody theoretically could see it, but if you say do not promote, then it will be at least a little bit more private than if you didn't. And if you really don't want it, if afterwards you want to get rid of it and delete it, you can press either deactivate, which will stop it from being used, or delete it like this, and then it goes away completely. But before you do that, you have to submit it to me so I can mark it. And the way you do that is by pressing this blue share button here to get the Snapchat link, copy it so it goes to your clipboard. You can also hit your Control-C if you have a PC, or Command-C if you have a Mac. And then go back to the assignment page that this is on. So you go to Classwork, Snapchat Lens Studio. It should be the only one under Lens Studio. And view the assignment. And you can add or create. By the way, I do have, if you go into here, you can find this video. So you'll be able to download the video when you access this page. But you're going to press the plus button, add or create. You're going to click link, which is the second one down, the second selection. And then you're going to paste the link that you just copied from Snapchat. So it should look like this, and it should say Snapchat on it, so you know that it works. Okay, and then once that's in there, turn it in, just like all the other assignments. Click turn in, and I will be able to see it by following the link to your Snapchat lens. Okay, and the last thing I should show you is how to save it, and you do that by closing this window, going to File, Save As, calling it something similar to your lens name, and click Save. In my case, I'm going to cancel because I've already saved it once. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, you can ask me in class. Have a great weekend. Good luck. Have some fun. Be creative. And we'll see you next class. Bye for now.